Hey team, how you doing? My name is Ray here and this is my 2020 Yamaha Tenere 700. Hey, a few weeks ago I released a video in which I lowered the bike. I took you through two different ways you can lower your bike, and we lowered this. We put the factory Yamaha low seat option on. Quite good, really liked it. And the team at White's, aka bitsforbikes.co.nz, also sent me the Kuba Link lowering links, which replace the factory links and lower the bike by about 25 millimeters. I put them on, and since that video came out, I have had a barrage of angry social media people saying that I've ruined my bike. Well, as you can see, it's still pretty good, and it's my bike, so if I ruined it, what's the problem? But let's have a conversation about that, because there seems to be this thought, this theory out in the internet world that you can't lower an adventure bike and you may as well have just gone and got a sport bike or a cruiser. I bought this bike because I really like it. And most of the riding I do is commuting, yes, city streets. But when I want to get off-road, I can. Originally I had, well before this bike, I had an MT-07, same engine. And I had a WR250 for trail riding and getting off-road and getting dirty. Life situations, life choices led me to sell the dirt bike, and I still wanted to get off-road. So I sold the MT-07 and got the best of both worlds, the Tenere 700. Now that's my choice. There's many people out there, as there are many different bike choices out there. That's fine. Whatever you choose to ride is your business. This is my business. The downside to this bike was it was just a little bit too tall for me. Not for you, not for Trevor down the road, but for me. The inseam, you know, from the seat to the ground was just a fraction too tall, and my confidence was being knocked because I dropped the bike at a stationary, you know, come to a stop and I couldn't get a foot down, so I'd end up dropping the bike. My choice was to lower the bike using the Kuba links, and it worked. And I boosted my confidence greatly, and since then have done some pretty hard out adventure riding. I got to join in on day 3 of the Yamaha Adventure Ride, which is a video on this channel. You can go and check it out. And as you'll see, there's some pretty hard out terrain there. Now, yes, I did lower the bike, which means the skid plate is closer to the ground, so I could bottom out the bike a lot more. I'm still running the factory front and rear suspension as well, so it's quite soft and you've got to ride accordingly. Yes, you do. You can't launch it off a jump and expect it not to bottom out. You've got to go a bit more gently through the river crossings. And I know that, but I still made the choice to lower the bike, and I think it was a good choice. Now, let's talk about the ground clearance. The Yamaha Tenere 700 from factory has 240 millimeters of ground clearance. With the 25 millimeter lowering kit from Kuba Link, I've now got 215 millimeters of ground clearance. Let's compare that to some of the other bikes out there. The Suzuki DR650 at 265 millimeters of ground clearance. The Kawasaki KLR 650, 210 millimeters of ground clearance. So those are the two old dogs of the adventure riding world, or dual sport world, depending on what you class them as. The Suzuki DR650, yeah, it's got more ground clearance, but people are leaning towards that KLR 650, and it's a new, it's been re-released, it's been freshened up, and it's come out with ABS. It's out there now, and people are loving it. It's kind of taken the place of the DR650, which you can no longer get here in New Zealand. But I've still got 5 millimeters more ground clearance than the KLR. Let's look at some of the other bikes. The KTM 890 Adventure has 264 millimeters ground clearance. The brand new Aprilia Tuareg 660, 240 millimeters. The V-Strom 650, 170 millimeters. So I've got way more, even lowered than a V-Strom. And people take the V-Strom to places it probably shouldn't be going as well. The Honda CRF 250 Rally, 270 millimeters, so that's quite a bit of ground clearance. The WR650, 335 millimeters, and that's about all I've got on my list. So yeah, I mean, it's low, but it's not crazy low. It's still got the ground clearance you need. And yeah, if I'm being honest, I am leaning towards getting the suspension redone now as well, revalved and stiffened up and whatever else they do to make it handle a bit more bottom out resistant. But it's good to have this conversation. And I think what people got to remember is that this is my bike. Your bike is your bike. I don't particularly want a fluoro pink bike with green accents, but if you want a fluoro pink bike with green accents, why can't you go and do it? Let's just remember that bikes are almost an extension of our own personalities. You know, what we decide to do, what modifications we do to our own bikes, who is anyone else to say that that's a bad thing? I lowered the seat, or I got the low seat and I lowered the suspension. It boosted my confidence on the bike, and I'm really looking forward to taking it off-road again and some more tricky stuff. But hey, I've still got the factory seat. I've still got the original links up on the shelf over there, and I can put the bike back to factory if I want. That's all I wanted to say. Hey, thanks very much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell. It really helps out the channel. If you have a riding buddy of yours and you think they might like the video, please do share it with them. Chuck it up on social media or whatever you want to do. Check out MotoNZ.com, which is my website. We've got a whole bunch of news. We've got reviews. We've got heaps of stuff going up there. And Kiwi Rider Podcast as well, available on all platforms. It's a weekly podcast with news, reviews. We talk to real Kiwi riders, heaps of stuff up there. And we've just ticked over 200 episodes of Kiwi Rider Podcast as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.